WhiskyJason here, Whisky Live Dublin 2023, together with
Aoife from Glendalough Distillery.
Yay, very, very good. You're based in Germany at the moment, but you are here at the fair in Dublin, so we're going to do it in English, our interview. That's very good.
Back on
Glendalough, one of the most beautiful areas of Ireland, I think.
Absolutely.
And you have some very, very nice whiskey. Last year when I was here, I got to talk to one of the owners together. We did the interview there with him.
Yes, our lovely Gary.
Yeah, Gary. It was Gary, exactly. It was a great interview. And now you get to present some of the products as well that we have here.
Yeah, because I know that you would have done the podcast a while ago, and I think it was just around the time when the Amerikaners was released.
Exactly.
So I kind of brought out a bit of a selection for us today. So obviously we have our 7-year-old Amerikaner, which was absolutely adored in the past, and the 13-year-old version that we first launched. For I suppose some of the people that don't realise, Glendalough was the first Irish distillery to actually use a Amerikaners cask. I suppose Gary probably went into a bit of detail with that last year, but the Amerikaners for us is kind of one of our absolute go-tos, because it's that relationship with Irish and Japanese culture coming together. Connected by the red thread of fate. We're a big fan of our storytelling in Glendalough, and for us it's always important to highlight those stories. And I think it's really and truly one of my favourite testaments to Glendalough is the guys were reading about Japanese oak styles and what they could do and how they could experiment with new cask styles. Kevin Keenan, one of the founders, read about Amerikaners and said, well, why don't we actually go? Why not? And they quite literally flew to Hokkaido, met with the Cooperage guys and said, look, we're Ireland's first craft distillery. We really want to create something special. We heard you guys are doing something very, very special here in Japan. Essentially, let's collaborate. And as we say, the rest is history. So just coming up to 10 years now since the release of the 13-year-old. Absolutely outstanding reception with the 13. And I have to say, like in the last year since we released in March, the 7-year-old, it's only gotten better and better, and it's become essentially one of our flagship whiskies that people see. It's so distinctive with our gold Kevin that we have here on the bottle, but also back on our stand today as well. So they're kind of mirroring.
We can't see Kevin up there.
We can't see Kevin just yet, but mirroring that element of it, and it's absolutely sensational. You've had it before, right? Yes, of course. I'd be disappointed.
And the 13-year-old. Oh.
The 13 was an absolute dream. Definitely with the 13, you're getting more of those dark chocolate mold, kind of almost like a marmalade kind of a consistency to it. But for me, with the 7-year-old, what we're getting is that beautiful oriental spice this time. So we're getting sandalwood. For me, it's almost like a kumquat element. So that kind of astringent, slightly bitter, but also sweet component to it, and coconut. So a little bit lighter, a little bit fresher, but all the same, absolutely delicious. What more can I say?
All right, excellent. So let's move over to the next bottle.
Super. So I suppose all the way from Japanese casks right into Irish casks themselves.
Yeah, Irish wood, very difficult to get.
Yes, absolutely. And we're very, very lucky in Glendalough to be actually the only Irish distillery to use Irish Dargailloch oak for a pot still. Which is absolutely phenomenal. We're very, very lucky that we have a very close relationship with a local forester in the Glendalough area, where we get our trees for our barrels for the pot still. And what's actually very cool, I might bring it up to the camera a little bit to show you guys. So each bottle that we have of our Irish pot still actually details right down to the very tree that the cask comes from, which I find absolutely phenomenal. Sustainability is, of course, very important to us.
So we have here, for example, bottle number 111. We have cask number 2 from that. We have batch number 2. We have tree number 6.
Yes.
So we start with tree 6, batch 2, cask number 2, and then bottle number 111.
Yeah.
I mean, transparency. Well done. Well
absolutely
done.
Important to us. And with that, originally we actually felled, I believe it was 14 trees originally, and each tree, these Irish Dargailloch oaks, are about 120, 140 years of age. You're yielding about 2 to 3 trees from each tree, but actually we had one
casks.
We had one monster that actually gave us 5 casks.
Really? Wow.
It was, that was our Super King tree.
I've never heard that story before. That's great, Super King tree.
Absolutely.
So, and then last but not least for today.
And then absolutely last but not least, this is our, I always call it our classic whiskey, but our master blender Rowdy calls it the breakfast whiskey. So it's the perfect one to start with, and it's the one that you're going to go to time and time again, like a good breakfast, right? Have you had an Irish rye since you've been here, Jason?
No. Sorry.
Oh God, it's one of the classic things.
I only
Irish
arrived yesterday, and I didn't have time for breakfast.
One of the classic staples of an Irish whiskey fair. You'll have to do it the next time.
Right, good.
But this is our double barrel grain whiskey that we have. It is 42 ABV. It's column still distilled as well. So we're getting that lovely light sweet element, and obviously double barrel is referring to the fact that we use ex-American bourbon barrels and Oloroso sherry. One of the things about Glendalough is we're always focusing on the finer aspects. So when we can go a little bit further into the mountains, whether we can go a little bit further abroad to source our cask, we actually go a little bit further into the mountains in Montilla in Spain, and we have a very close relationship with a bodega in Spain that we actually get our cask from, and we handpick them ourselves. So to this day we still have that fantastic relationship with them, and it gives us our brilliant flagship whiskey, our double barrel.
Now, how many countries are you in at the moment?
So at last count, because we are ever expanding, at last count we were 42 countries. Yes.
Very, very, very nice.
So pretty impressive, and you know, for a distillery that's only been open and founded since 2011, you know, we're really making strides in the whiskey world. One of our newest markets is actually Australia and Poland. So it's been going great. We're you know, very, very strong in Germany, as you know. You see me at every whiskey fair. So the next one I'm going to be at isn't going to be until September, I believe. But yeah, like we're making great strides, and people in Germany, I think they really love and appreciate Glendalough. And I think what's great as well is people, they recognise Glendalough, the name, and they don't realise that there's actually a very beautiful small distillery nestled in the valley itself. So that's kind of one of the things that I love to talk to people about. But from a small distillery in this very beautiful centre of Ireland to a worldwide phenomenon, I suppose we can be quite proud of ourselves.
Very good success story of Ireland again.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying our best.
All right, WhiskyJason here. Thank you very much for the great introduction here to
No
Glendalough.
problem. Sláinte.
Sláinte.